The visuals that came in from Pahalgam was an eerie reminder as the world was watching to 7/11 to what happened in Israel, especially the tactics that were used by the terrorists, the body cam footage, the checking of the identities, the deliberate targeted attacks, though at Hindus but in general against non-Muslims, in which, despite the effort, even a Kashmiri Muslim was targeted. The observers have mentioned that this is a similar tactic of the radicalized jihadist mind all over the world right now. Hamas tactics were used by Pakistan attackers too. Checking of identity of the victims, deliberate identification, the Hamas-like use of an encrypted application, importantly the body cam footage that they reportedly have, the helmets, how they managed to enter into the meadow surrounded by the mountains. And therefore, perhaps in many ways, a realization of how the global radical Islamist groups are working, whether from Pakistan or Hamas. Jitendra Bahadur joins me for the latest on that. Jitendra, जिस तरह से आप इन्वेस्टिगेटर से बात भी कर रहे हैं, क्यों ये कंपैरिजन हमास के टैक्टिक से आ रहा है? कोई कहेगा इजराइल पैलेस्टाइन का अलग इशू है, किस तरह से सिमिलैरिटी देखी जा रही है पहलगाम अटैक में?
देखिए पूजा, जो खुफिया एजेंसीज इस बात को लेकर के उनके जो सूत्रों ने जानकारी दी है कि जिस तरीके से इजराइल में टूरिस्टों के ऊपर हमास ने अटैक किया था, कुछ उसी तरीके का इस्तेमाल जो पाकिस्तानी बेस्ड आतंकी हैं जो कि इन्फिल्ट्रेट कुछ महीने पहले किए हैं, उन्होंने ये किया है। हमने देखा है कि जिस तरीके से उन्होंने हेलमेट माउंट बॉडी कैम लगा रखे थे, इस तरीके की जानकारी मिली है सिक्योरिटी एजेंसीज के थ्रू। इसके साथ ही जो हमास की स्टाइल है कि आइडेंटिटी चेक करके और उस तरीके से मारना, कुछ इसी तरीके से जो पहलगाम में आतंकवादियों ने बैसरन वैली में किया है, कुछ इसी तरीके का दिखाई पड़ रहा है। और दूसरी सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि सिक्योरिटी एजेंसीज ने ये जानकारी सूत्रों के हवाले से दी है कि आतंकियों ने इनक्रिप्टेड ऐप का इस्तेमाल किया है, जिसके जरिए उन्होंने रूट्स देखा और फिर उनके पास ओवरग्राउंड वर्कर के जरिए जो जानकारी पहले से मौजूद थी कि यहाँ पर कितनी भीड़ हो सकती है, इसके साथ ही वो किस तरीके से एरिया जो है वो पहलगाम सिटी से कितना दूर है, इन तमाम चीजों की रेकी उनके जो स्लीपर सेल है ओवरग्राउंड वर्कर उनके द्वारा किया गया और ये आतंकवादियों के पास जानकारी थी। उसके बाद जब उन्होंने इस तरीके का अटैक किया, उन्होंने हमला किया और हमला करने के बाद वहां से वो लोग भाग गए। सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस का रिस्पांस टाइम भी उनको पता था कि इतनी देर में सिक्योरिटी फोर्स पहुंचेगी। तो इन तमाम चीजों को लेकर के अब एजेंसीज लगातार काम कर रही हैं। एनआईए इस पूरे मामले में ग्राउंड पर इस वक्त मौजूद है, वो देख रही है कि किस तरीके से उनको लोकल सपोर्ट मिला, ओवरग्राउंड वर्कर किस तरीके से वहां पर। इसके साथ ही बहुत सारे लोगों को हिरासत में लोकल पुलिस ने लिया है, उनसे पूछताछ की जा रही है कि क्या उन लोगों का सपोर्ट उन आतंकवादियों तक रहा है। इन तमाम चीजों को देखा जा रहा है और इसको लेकर के इन्वेस्टिगेशन आगे बढ़ रही है। लेकिन हमास जैसे अटैक करता है, कुछ उसी तरीके से उन्होंने बर्बरतापूर्व अटैक किया और उसके बाद
similar area where people were holidaying and vacationing, because remember in places like these the tourists did not have a space to hide and flee. Where would they go? It was all an open area. The terrorists had their time till the security forces reinforcements could come. Are we looking at a global Islamist jihad angle here of how these groups are learning? Also remember, Jitendra is telling us high-tech equipment that they had access to. Was it just Pakistan or was that equipment coming in from elsewhere as well? Jitendra, thank you very much for updating us. Remember, these are developments, updates as more and more tracking that is happening by the investigators, and especially about how did they manage to carry out this attack when, of course, there have been heightened tracking of the terror groups that to a large extent were dismantled. As all eyes now are on the government, one, to strategize what exactly happened, why did it happen, and then the strike against Pakistan. A big diplomatic decision has been taken. In fact, multiple decisions have been taken. Late last evening, the Cabinet Committee on Security under the chairpersonship of PM Modi decided to keep, let's go one by one, the Indus Water Treaty between India and Pakistan stands in abeyance right now. India will not go ahead with it. Not only this, The integrated check post at Atari has been closed immediately. That is with regard to Punjab border, again the border with Pakistan, of course. No visas will be allotted anymore to Pakistan nationals who intend to come to India for whatever reason. The number of diplomats in Pakistan missions, especially High Commission in Delhi, have also been reduced now largely. On Wednesday, remember, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh issued a stern message to terrorists and orchestrators of the recent attack and has vowed that India will identify and bring to justice everyone who conspired against it. But questions will rightly be raised to the government as well, that despite all the efforts, how did this incident happen and what is being done to ensure that Pakistan is isolated and punished on this?
As India has taken tough diplomatic actions against Pakistan after the Pahalgam terrorist attack, Atari-Wagah border has been closed for the people. Here I am at the Atari-Wagah border, and for the travelers it has been closed. Normally we have seen that this is the only road crossing between India and Pakistan, but it has been closed now, so anybody who has visa cannot travel from this route anymore. Although the people who have already crossed in have been given time till 1st of May to cross over, and those having SAARC visas can return in within 48 hours. But no fresh travelers will be allowed from either side, as India has decided to close this border for now. Although there is no decision yet on retreat ceremony, because the beating retreat ceremony takes place every evening here, where the Border Security Force Jawans and the Pakistani Rangers they do the flag lowering ceremony, and also trade happens through this border. But as of now, for the travelers, this has been closed because India has taken a tough action against Pakistan, tough diplomatic action against Pakistan, be it downsizing basically the downsizing the embassy staff or closure of this border. From Atari border, with camera person Girish, this is Asim Bassi, India Today.
Pakistani nationals will not be permitted to travel to India under the SAARC visa exemption scheme visas. Any SVAS visas issued in the past to Pakistani nationals are deemed cancelled. Any Pakistani national currently in India under SVAS visa has 48 hours to leave India. Recognizing the seriousness of this terrorist attack, the CCS decided upon the following measures. 1. The Indus Waters Treaty of 1960 will be held in abeyance with immediate effect until Pakistan credibly and irrevocably abjures its support for cross-border terrorism. 2. The integrated checkpost Atari will be closed with immediate effect. Those who have crossed over with valid endorsements may return through that route before 1 May 2025.
और हम सिर्फ उन लोगों तक नहीं पहुंचेंगे जिन्होंने इस घटना को अंजाम दिया है, हम उन तक भी पहुंचेंगे जिन्होंने पर्दे के पीछे बैठकर हिंदुस्तान की सरजमी पर ऐसी नापाक हरकतों की साजिशें रची हैं। भारत एक इतनी पुरानी सभ्यता और इतना बड़ा देश है जिसको ऐसे किसी भी आतंकी गतिविधियों से किसी भी सूरत में डराया नहीं जा सकता। ऐसी हरकतों का जिम्मेदार और इसके जिम्मेदार लोगों को आने वाले कुछ ही समय में जोरदार तरीके से नजर आएगा। मैं देशवासियों को आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूं। यहां मैं भारत के दृढ़ संकल्प को दोहराना चाहूंगा कि टेररिज्म के खिलाफ हमारी जीरो टॉलरेंस की पॉलिसी है। भारत का एक एक नागरिक इस कायरतापूर्ण हरकत के खिलाफ एकजुट है। मैं इस मंच से देशवासियों को आश्वस्त करता हूं, घटना के मद्देनजर भारत सरकार वो हर कदम उठाएगी जो जरूरी और उपयुक्त होगा।
For the viewer tuning in right now, what is the Indus Water Treaty and why has India taken a decision on that among the 5 decisions taken? Signed on 19 September 1960, it was signed by then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru and former Pakistan Prime Minister Ayub Khan. It was negotiated by the World Bank. For 9 years, treaty has about 12 articles, 8 annexures. India will be using the eastern rivers, that Pakistan will use western rivers. That was one of the decisions with regard to the Indus Water Treaty. This stands in abeyance right now, also because in many ways, as the phrase has been going, can the blood and water flow together? The Indus Water Treaty, remember, also is about, for example, and that's why we've put it out for you, the eastern rivers allocated to India, the Ravi, the Beas River and Satluj. The western rivers allocated to Pakistan, Indus, Jhelum and Chenab. The treaty has been in effect since 1960. India refrained from taking a decision on the treaty all these years, despite constant attacks on our tourists, on our forces, on our people across India in the past few decades. But this time India realized it needs to hit Pakistan where it matters. So what will be the impact then when we say the treaty stands in abeyance? There could be a food security that will face a threat. There could be a water crisis as much. But it also allows India to push water upstream. Impact on Pakistan will be as much on its agriculture, agricultural land specifically. Impact on Pakistan could be with regard to environment. Pakistan, remember, assuming that it can keep killing Indians, targeting India, creating commotion, has nothing positive to contribute to the world. But India, keeping its kindness, will also never harm Pakistan. We have more news coming in. Remember, one of the other decisions beyond Indus Water Treaty is with regard to diplomats. Let's take a look at that. We are told that there are diplomats who've been asked to leave and they'll have to evict. They are already packing their bags. There's been a timeline that has been set. Now, while a diplomat was summoned, there has been also the reduced diplomatic number that also is being reported. That the presence of the diplomats at different missions of Pakistan will be highly reduced. Remember, these are diplomatic decisions that India has taken. And as we put out the decisions for you, India expelling Pakistan defense advisors, diplomats have been asked to leave. About 48 hours timeline also has been given to the ones as visas are being cancelled one by one. No new visa will be accorded now to Pakistan nationals for whatever reason they intend to visit India in the backdrop of the wailing widows, the shock among the children who were on a holiday. And remember, this is as we talk about families one after another that are facing this. Asim Basi is at the Atari border. That's the third decision that has been taken after the Indus Water Treaty, the cancellation of the visas, the diplomatic number reduced. At the Atari, which is also Atari Wagah border as we call it, has been shut for now. I want to go to Asim for that. Asim, put this in understanding for us. He's talking to people.
Well, the border has been closed by Indian government after the Pahalgam terror attack. But first of all, I'll show you visuals. These are Pakistani nationals who are going back in a hurry. They had a 45-day visa, but they're going back because the border has been closed. They came here in Delhi for some reasons, to meet some relatives. But now, this entire, since border has been closed, you can see here that few Pakistani nationals are going back in emergency. We spoke to few people. हाँ जी, आप कब आए थे यहाँ पे? आप बता दीजिए सर, कब आए थे आप? आपका नाम क्या है? आपका नाम? इंडियन हूँ, मैं इंडियन हूँ. So you can see now the Pakistani nationals who are going back in hurry because they had a 45-day visa, but they are going back because the borders has been closed and immediately people have been asked to go back to their native places. So we spoke to few people. They said that definitely it's a problem for them that the border has been closed. हाँ जी सर, क्या नाम है आपका? सर नाम बता दीजिए. क्या नाम है आपका? चाचा बोले चाचा. कब आए थे आप?
बड़ी मेहरबानी आपकी. अब थक गया.
नहीं, आप बॉर्डर क्लोज हुआ उसको किस तरह देखते हैं?
यह सही बात नहीं है. क्लोज नहीं होना चाहिए था. बिल्कुल दोनों तरफ से जो है आना जाना होना चाहिए.
लेकिन जो टेररिस्ट अटैक हुआ है उसमें इतने इनोसेंट लोगों को मार दिया गया है और कहा जा रहा है वो पाकिस्तानी स्पॉन्सर्ड टेररिस्ट है.
नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं. हम उसके बिल्कुल नहीं, बिल्कुल ऐसी कोई बात नहीं.
और आप कब आए थे?
हेलो हम एक हफ्ते पहले आए थे.
इमरजेंसी में वापस जा रहे हैं?
जी हाँ, बस no comments.
So you can hear that the people who came here, they are going back in emergency due to the closure of border. These are the scenes here at the Atari border because the Indian government took a tough diplomatic measure, saying that they will have the people who have come to India through this border will have to return till 1st May, and those on the SAARC visas will have to go back within 48 hours. So you can see more families here who will be going back now. So these are the scenes here at the Atari Wagah border, where people.
हमको ये पता चला कि ऐसा वाकया हो गया है और इस वाकये के पीछे हमें नहीं पता कौन है कौन नहीं है, तो फिर हम जो है वापस जो है दिल्ली सदर बाजार और वहाँ पर गए पुलिस स्टेशन, हमने रवानगी लिखवा दी अपनी। अब हम बॉर्डर क्रॉस कर रहे हैं।
आप कितने दिनों के लिए आए थे?
हम जो है यहाँ 45 दिन का वीजा था हमारा, हमको 45 दिन ठहरना था।
अभी आप कितने दिनों बाद वापस जा रहे हैं?
अब हम 15 दिन बाद वापस जा रहे हैं।
अभी आप कैसा लग रहा है?
बहुत शुक्रिया। अच्छा तो नहीं लग रहा है
सर? आपका नाम?
शेख फजल अहमद।
So these are the visuals you can see. The Pakistani families they are going into the integrated check post, from where they will go to the immigration counters and then cross over. From the immigration counters, from there they will cross over to Pakistan.
Tell me more. What does this mean? This means
this is the only on-foot crossing between.
Go ahead. Finish your point, please.
This is the only on-foot crossing. I will tell you that the Atari Wagah checkpost is the only on-foot crossing between the two nations.
Yes.
Anybody who has a valid visa, on-foot visa, Pakistani can come to India and Indian can go to Pakistan. Even the religious jathas take this route. But now this has been closed by the Indian government. And आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे वापस जाने? नहीं. So the Pakistani women, they're not basically talking to the media, saying they don't want to talk. But we spoke to a few men who clearly said that they are going back in a hurry, and this clearly signals that yes, there is a cause of emergency between them ever since the news broke out that the closure of the border.
I hope Pakistan is watching this, Asim, isn't it? I hope Pakistan is watching how its own people are also as much being impacted for what it carried out and sent terrorist-sponsored to Pahalgam to kill and target our innocent people. Asim, what does this mean? That means throughout the day, there are going to be people, Pakistan nationals, who will have to now leave from this border. It's been shut completely, is what we are being told, that only exit is allowed.
Yes, I'll tell you that only the people who had already entered this nation will be allowed to go back till 1st of May. Okay? The people who have already entered. But anybody who has a fresh visa will not be allowed to cross. Since this border operates between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So they will cross the border at 10 a.m. and the gates will close at 4 p.m. So any people who have stranded in India, any Pakistani nationals can go back till 1st of May from this route. Those having SAARC visas will go back till 48 hours. आपको जाने नहीं दिया आगे क्या हुआ?
नहीं, वो ये कह रहे हैं कि दूसरे दरवाजे से एंट्री होगी।
इधर से तो होती नहीं एंट्री।
तो आपका लंबा प्लान था यहाँ रहने का?
जी।
कितने दिन का?
45 दिन का।
तो अब कितने दिन रह के आए?
हम तो 1 हफ्ते रह कर आए।
1 हफ्ता रह के गए। तो आप कैसे देखते हैं जो डिप्लोमेटिक हुआ है एक्शन भारत ने?
जो भी हुआ गलत हुआ है।
हाँ, तो जिस तरह पाकिस्तान बेस्ड टेररिज्म ने
अब ये नहीं मालूम, हम इस बारे में कुछ नहीं कह सकते।
वो तो इनपुट्स आ ही रही हैं एजेंसी से कि जो पाकिस्तान स्पॉन्सर्ड टेररिज्म है उसने जो है टूरिस्टों को मारा है।
वो हमें नहीं पता इस बात का।
तो अभी आप वापस जा रहे हैं यहीं पे हैं?
नहीं, अभी हम यहीं पर ही हैं। अभी देखते हैं, वेट कर रहे हैं हम। दरवाजा खुलेगा तो हम जाएंगे अंदर इंशाल्लाह।
तो आप ये बता दीजिए कि जो आम सिटीजन है उसमें क्या मैसेज, आप कितना डर गए थे जब ये मैसेज आया?
बिल्कुल डर गए थे, इसलिए तो इमरजेंसी है।
So you can see that the people say that they were scared, although they don't want to comment on the innocent Indian tourists who were basically gunned down by the terrorists. But they say that yes, they got scared. This is the reason they're going back. And as this border opens at 10 a.m. and closes at 4 p.m., so the people will be allowed to go back to Pakistan at around 10 a.m. So anyone who has a valid visa and has already entered India will be allowed to go back till 1st of May. From this border, the people who having SAARC visas will have to go back within 48 hours. But no fresh entry will be made into India or from India from this border. Yeah.
Asim, keep tracking and the updates that are coming in, and this is the realization that Pakistan also needs to have, how its own people are suffering because of its own actions, of how it's targeted India and expected India to not do anything, to not even respond diplomatically. But India has taken that decision now. Pakistan nationals have been given time, at least till the 1st of May is what we are being told, to leave and to exit, and that no more new visas will be allotted. Amid all of this, remember, across every city in India, there is grief, there is mourning. People are in shock of how 25 Indian citizens and one Nepalese citizen who were targeted, unsuspecting tourists. There were newlyweds, father, son, professionals who had come seeking peace sometime with their family members as celebration, instead were met with targeted brutality. Here's a report, and as you can see, multiple visuals, whether it's Guwahati, whether it's Kanpur, whether it's Karnal in Haryana, whether it's Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, everywhere there are mortal remains, either in transit or reaching their families. Bengaluru in Karnataka, Chennai in Tamil Nadu, Pune in Maharashtra, Surat in Gujarat, Kanpur in UP, Guwahati in Assam. The bodies of the victims being carried by the women, the children from a vacation in Kashmir. Let's go one by one. Because remember, for me, these are not statistics. These are not just numbers. Shubham Dwivedi was a 31-year-old businessman from Kanpur, married in February, 2 months ago, still in celebration mode. Their visuals are going viral of having a great time just a day ago at a hotel in Kashmir. He was in Pahalgam with extended family, 11 family members. He was identified, shot dead point blank range after his identity was confirmed. And this has been confirmed by his wife. She was forced to watch in helpless horror. This newly married woman was forced to watch her husband die after he could not recite the kalma that the terrorist asked him to. Listen in to the first reaction from the wife and the ground report coming in from Kanpur.
इस वक्त मैं मौजूद हूँ कानपुर में शुभम द्विवेदी के पैतृक घर में, जहाँ पर उनका पार्थिव शरीर आखिरी दर्शन के लिए लाया गया है। पीछे अगर आप मेरे विजुअल्स में देखेंगे तो यहाँ पर शुभम द्विवेदी, जो कि पहलगाम आतंकी हमले में शहीद हुए थे, उनका पार्थिव शरीर रखा गया हुआ है। यहाँ पे तस्वीर देखेंगे आप उनकी, लोग आ रहे हैं बड़ी संख्या में, आसपास के गाँव के लोग, और सभी, चाहे वो विपक्षी पार्टी के हों, चाहे वो सत्ताधारी पार्टी के हों। कल से ही ये पूरा सिलसिला शुरू है। आपको बता दें कि रात को 1 बजे का वक्त था जब उनका पार्थिव शरीर यहाँ पर कानपुर में लाया गया है। पीछे देखेंगे तो उनकी जो पत्नी है, जो उस वक्त उनके साथ मौजूद थी जब उनकी नृशंस हत्या कर दी गई, उसी के साथ में सर रख के बैठी हैं। और उनकी मानसिक स्थिति क्या होगी वो हम अच्छे से जान सकते हैं कि किस तरीके से सिर्फ धर्म पूछकर जो उनकी नृशंस हत्या उनकी पत्नी के सामने कर दी गई। यहाँ पे अगर आप देखेंगे तो जो परिवार वाले हैं वो शोक में हैं। बाकायदा भीड़ अगर आप मेरे देखेंगे तो जैसे पूरा गांव यहाँ पर उन्हें श्रद्धांजलि देने के लिए उमड़ पड़ा है। आपको बता दें कुछ ही समय में यहाँ पर उत्तर प्रदेश सूबे के मुख्यमंत्री योगी आदित्यनाथ आएंगे और अपनी श्रद्धांजलि परिवार वालों को मिलकर संवेदना जो है वो व्यक्त करेंगे और उनसे मिलने का काम करेंगे। आपको बता दूँ कि रात को ग्रीन कॉरिडोर बनाया गया था। बाकायदा जब एयरपोर्ट पे फ्लाइट आई, वहां पर स्वास्थ्य मंत्री समेत अन्य मंत्रियों ने श्रद्धांजलि दी और उसके बाद उनका पार्थिव शरीर उनके पैतृक गांव यहां पर रखा गया है।
3 दिन में एक बंदा पीछे से आया और उसने गोली साइड में रख के उससे पूछा हिंदू है कि मुसलमान? मुसलमान है तो पहले कलमा पढ़ के दिखा। जैसे हमें पता ही नहीं, हम पीछे पलट के देखेंगे हो क्या रहा है, हम उसकी तरफ स्माइल करके पूछे भैया क्या हुआ? अरे हिंदू है मुसलमान? मैंने कहा हिंदू, बांट दे। पहली गन उसी पे चलाई।
हम लोग जा ही रहे थे, लेकिन जाते जाते दामाद जी हैं हमारे, इन्होंने कह दिया कि हमें घोड़े पे बैठने में तकलीफ महसूस होती है, हम जानवर को नहीं सताएंगे। तो हमने कहा हम भी नहीं सताएंगे। वो फिर वाइफ भी नहीं गई, फिर इनके मम्मी पापा थे वो भी नहीं गए। तो ऐसे 6 लोग ऊपर नहीं गए। बच्चे लोग कहने लगे हो आए ऊपर, तो चले गए थे। तो जब बच्चे लोग गए तो हम फ़ोन में उनसे संपर्क में थे। 2 मिनट पहले शुभम ने फ़ोन करके बोला था कि हम वहाँ ऊपर पहुँच गए हैं और थोड़ी देर में भी नीचे आ जाएंगे। तो हमने कहा आ जाना बेटा आराम से, हम नीचे बैठे हैं। उसके अगले ही पल हमें लगता है घटना हो गई, क्योंकि उसके 5 मिनट बाद बहू का फ़ोन आ गया था कि यहाँ पे अटैक हो गया है और गोली लग गई है, इतना बताया था उसने।
So remember, from Uttar Pradesh to Karnataka to Tamil Nadu to Andhra Pradesh to Guwahati to Arunachal Pradesh, name any city of India today, there is grief and shock. There are protests, solidarity march, and everyone feels the impact. Just look at this image. They were married, still in celebration mode, barely 2 months ago. These wedding pictures going viral now. This woman went with her husband for a vacation to Kashmir, and she was forced to return with the coffin. There's a viral video of theirs where they're playing cards and having a good time at a hotel, and he says, "Main sabko hara dunga," jokingly. And now the family members say that he could not defeat the religious hate that he was made to go through. The wife could not understand initially why the husband was being asked if he's a Hindu or not, or if he's a Muslim or not. By then he was shot at. She's now sitting by his mortal remains. How can India not unite over this? The government needs to answer to this young woman. Why did this incident happen? What will the government, facing all the expectations and eyes right now, ensure that this will not happen again? Remember that there will be decisions taken, but the families have been destroyed forever. This woman must have been full of dreams and hope. I want to go to Kanpur, live, where we are being joined by Simar Chawla. He's at Shubham Dwivedi's family, where this young woman just starting her life. And look at her now. Simar, I have a lot to say, but there has to be a certain restraint and refrain. But you tell me right now what is happening. We believe that the Chief Minister of the state is likely to visit the family too.
Well, yes, Pooja, right now I'm standing just outside the ancestral home of Shubham Dwivedi, and the scenes I would like to show you through the camera. The people have in fact gathered here in large number. You can see these are the people of the village, the nearby areas who have in fact gathered here to pay their homage, to offer their condolences to the family. And the crowd is such that now they have been stopped by the police by putting a barricade. And you can see these are the visuals. This is the barricading which has been placed just outside the home, and where till your vision goes, you will see a lot of people waiting for their turn to go inside. You can see there are a lot of policemen that have in fact stationed here. The reason being, in just 5 minutes from now, what we are expecting any moment, the CM Yogi will be here to meet the family, offer their condolences. You can see that the police is on the spot. As per the protocol, they are trying to stop the people. There are a lot of policemen who have been placed here itself. But what's important is that the last rites will happen once the CM meets the family and sees the body for the last time, and then the family will move for the last rites. Now, what we have learned is that a green corridor was made in the night by giving the special permissions, just so that the family members could get the body as early as possible. The CM is expected to meet the family, and after that, the last rites will happen. But with the shocking details we got to know, Shubham was the first one who was shot in the Pahalgam terror attack. We had a word with his wife. She told that everything was normal when they were sitting, and Shubham was the first victim who was in fact targeted by the terrorists. So that's why they were in fact huge shock, because they didn't know what's happening in front of them. And from there onwards, the terrorists started killing the other people. That's the story, and you can imagine the trauma that she might be going at this very point of time and for the rest of her life. Now, these are the visuals you can see from where till your vision goes. You will see that a lot of people, in fact, have gathered here. As the word broke, there have been heavy, disappointment. There have been heavy sadness in the people, and also a great anger. We just some time back heard the slogans against Pakistan by the people. In fact, they were removed by the police following the protocol. But such is the mood of, the Kanpur. Such is the mood of the country. Now it remains to be seen. But what everyone is hoping for, that what will be done to those terrorists, to those people who in fact was responsible for this.
There's definite outrage. There's an understandable anger. And it's also important that the government ensures that the terrorists do not get away. Pakistan does not get away. India stands united in this hour of grief with the family. And the leaders ensured that this young woman and the family of Shubham Dwivedi, the parents, are not isolated, are not left alone. Everyone, especially the leadership, will be with them. So that's what we are looking at Kanpur. One of the first casualties to be confirmed officially was that of Karnataka's Manjunath Rao. If there was a newly married couple on one side, there was a happy family celebrating the success of their son, who succeeded with a massive 96% in his board examination. So they wanted to go to Kashmir and celebrate it. They were about to return with that last visit to Pahalgam. His wife's words have then been reflected of what everyone's story has been, of how she asked the terrorists to kill her too, and they mocked and taunted her, saying, "We are sparing you because we want you to go and tell the government what happened." Also important to add here, before the support reached from the Indian Armed Forces and the administration, there were also local Kashmiri men who helped rescue Pallavi and the family members. There's also Bharat Bhushan's mother. She was unaware that her son also died in Pahalgam. Now she sits next to the lifeless body of her son. Their story, their eyewitness account is even more disturbing. Bharat Bhushan's young wife Sujata is a doctor. They have a 3-year-old son. The wife was asked to check the husband if he has died. The terrorist ensured that the wife checked it and not help him.
When Pallavi ma'am described that incident to you, was it true that one of those terrorists on her face told her, go tell Prime Minister Modi a certain message? Did that happen?
Yeah, I think we are away from that place, but she told me the same thing, what media is showing. Pallavi also narrated me the same lines actually. All that it is true.
It's true. The terrorist did tell her, go tell Modi a certain message, all those things.
She told me, she only told me.
Because there are also a certain narratives that's floating around saying that the terrorist used to ask the names of the tourist and then they...
There is no need to ask, I think, because in Kashmir they have to wear addressed ID tag wherever you go. So it is obvious that by looking at the tag, one can identify who he was or he is. But still they asked, I think, maybe. But after Pallavi's arrival, then only we can say what it is. But in between our conversation, what she narrated, what you told, all these things, she also narrated to us.
If there's one thing that you want to convey, what is it?
We are requesting central government that government has to destroy all the terrorists. I am requesting government destroy all the terrorists. In future also, no one should
carry out an attack.
By requesting government, but we see Modi as Rama in Ramayana. We respect so much Modi, but government has to take action. In future, so no one can face situation like this. I requesting government to destroy. No terrorist should be on the earth. Like that. I'm requesting government.
ಒತ್ತಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಬಹುಶಃ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನನಗೆ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್ ಫೇಲ್ಯೂರ್ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ ಅಮಾಯಕ ಜನರು ಪಾಪ ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರು, ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಆಡೋ ಹಗಲೇ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರ ಹೆಂಡ್ತೀರಿ ಎದುರುಗಡೆನೆ ಮಗು ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. ಶೂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೇಯ ಕೃತ್ಯ ಮನುಷ್ಯ.
So we showed you what's happening in Kanpur, in Bengaluru, united in grief, 2 different cities and states. Pramod joins me from Kavali in Andhra Pradesh this morning. This is where Madhusudan Rao was from. Anaga joins me from Shimoga. Manjunath residents. Manjunath, in fact, was one of the first casualties to be officially confirmed and travelling with his extended family. Heart-wrenching story, especially when it comes to Manjunath. I want to also first come to you in Andhra Pradesh, Pramod Madhav. As more and more people I see around you, they are with the family at this point. Tell us more about Madhusudan, his family. Who was he with? How many have returned already? What's happening?
What we are witnessing here is an absolute shocker, because this is what happens to an innocent person's life after a terror strike. And this is a house, and there we have Manjunath's body. And inside the house, we have an elderly father who's not even able to sit, and an elderly mother and his wife, Madhusudan's wife, and 2 teen children are there, all wondering how did this happen, because they just went to Kashmir to have a good vacation, but everything turned this way, and that is Madhusudan's body. His face is also not even revealed, and it's completely unfortunate what has happened over here. He was 43 years old and he was working as a software engineer. He just wanted to take his family to Kashmir to show his children how beautiful Kashmir was. No one ever suspected about such a kind of terror attack at the spot, and now they're completely like the entire home is completely devastated, and the people who come over here, many are his relatives, and there are a lot more who are strangers who just come over here to pay their final respects and to show their support to the family. And this place is completely covered in sorrow and darkness, Pooja.
Look at that image on your screen. A family member, a son, a father, lost to religious extremism, to brutality, to Pakistan-sponsored terrorism, leaving behind grieving family members. The government will also have to give answers. They are responsible for keeping the citizens protected. And if so much was being done in Kashmir, and rightly so, a lot of changes had happened, how did this incident happen and why? Look at the image of the couple and now leaving behind heartbroken family members. Stay on with me, Pramod. Anaga joins me from Shimoga, Manjunath's residence. Anaga, what you revealed to us a short while ago in that conversation about the doctor wife, about the 3-year-old son. I have a child of a similar age, and I can only imagine as a young mother, as a family, what a moment of celebration it would have been in Kashmir, and then to watch the husband be killed in that manner. Tell us more about what exactly is happening right now. Are the leadership there to assure the family that they will be with the family, they will not be left alone? What is happening there in Shimoga?
In fact, we're expecting Union Minister Prahlad Joshi to be here. But now we had Shimoga's MLA, Mr. Channabasappa. He just arrived just ahead of the mortal remains of Manjunath being brought in here. All preparations have been made. Like you can see, the crowd has started to already assemble. Sufficient pathways for the public and family members to pay their last respects to Manjunath have been made. In fact, that stand is where we expect the mortal remains of Manjunath Rao to be placed. People have already started arriving. Police are here for sufficient security reasons. We are expecting central leadership and state leadership to also be here. In fact, Manjunath's mother, she's very old. She's not really be able to talk or even face anyone. She's really old. She's inside their house. But we had Manjunath's relatives like sister-in-law, father, brother-in-law come here and speak to us. They are demanding that only one thing. One thing is that terrorism should be wiped out from the planet. It should be wiped out from earth. Not a single terrorist should be living and breathing is what the family members of Manjunath Rao are requesting from the Modi government. They are saying that terrorism must be wiped out no matter what. In fact, we're expecting Manjunath's last remains to be brought here at around 10 a.m. So in about 25 minutes, the body should be here. It's in fact coming in from Bangalore.
Must be asked to the government, and there will have to be answers too. Also, Anaga, add to this, and I want to correct myself here. It's not just Manjunath, but there's also Bharat Bhushan's family. Manjunath is the one who was there to celebrate the son's board examination success. Bharat Bhushan is the young father. So there are at least 2 different families in Karnataka right now grieving, with, of course, support who have come out for solidarity with the families. Anaga, quickly.
Well, that's right, Pooja. In fact, Manjunath has a son who is 18 years old. He just finished his 12th board exams and secured 97%. They were there in North India, in Kashmir, to celebrate their son's achievement in his board exams. And that's when this terrible tragedy struck. In fact, Bharat Bhushan's family is also grieving in Bengaluru. We saw the terrible visuals that came in, the way Bharat Bhushan's family was grieving for his death, his child. Truly terrible visuals, unspeakable visuals that we cannot see from our own eyes, coming in from Bengaluru as well and in Shimoga. 2 separate families, but the same state. There's one thing common, that's the grieving families who are demanding for all terrorists to be wiped out.
Anaga is telling us, remember, different families, but it's the same story for the 25 Indian citizens and 1 Nepalese citizen as well. Different borders, areas, but it's the same incident that's happened. Thank you very much for now, Pramod and Anaga. I'll keep coming back to you. And I hope the government also, while Home Minister Amit Shah directly interacted with the survivors to get a first-hand account, the government also realizes tall claims of normalcy are not enough. You cannot pull the guard down and believe everything is all right. Terrorists are looking for even the smallest loophole to cause disturbance and commotion. We are looking at the mortal remains of Indian Air Force officer from Arunachal Pradesh among the 26 people massacred by terrorists in Pahalgam. This was 30-year-old Corporal T. Heliang. He was posted at a base. He was with his wife. And I want to add here, like Shubham Dwivedi and Lieutenant Vinay Narwal, Heliang was also a newly married man. The couple got married only last December. So at least 3 young newly married couples, their lives destroyed forever. The wife returns to first Delhi, Assam, and then Arunachal Pradesh with the mortal remains of a family. Senior leaders there to assist, escort and accompany the family members. Here are some reactions that are coming in from the family members of the brother of Corporal T. Heliang.
ये जो अपना मिसेस को लेकर वहाँ में साइट सीइंग के लिए कुछ 1-2 दिन वहाँ में टाइम बिताने के लिए उन दोनों जो प्लानिंग किया है, तो उसी समय में ये हादसा हो गया है। ये बहुत ही शॉकिंग ये हादसा है, हमारा ये देशवासी के लिए है और स्पेशली हमारा ये मेरा ये अपना भाई के लिए। कल हम सब पूरा एकदम से सदमा में रह गया।
At least 5 people from Maharashtra also died in this tragedy. The mortal remains of Santosh Jagdale were brought to his residence at Pune for the final rites. Again, the same story. The eyewitnesses, the survivors of Jagdale's family, said that they were asked to recite an Islamic verse. This is the daughter confirming that this happened. For someone, it's a wife, a daughter, a mother. And now, then, when it was very clear that he could not recite it, the family that was vacationing in Baisaran Valley were targeted. They tried to take shelter at one of the tents nearby that was set up. But here's how it's important. The daughter that went with the father to have a vacation in Kashmir, in their own country, in their own nation, was now seen performing the last rites and in blood-stained trousers that she wore when the incident happened. I hope the families know that all of India stands with them, but it's also now for the government of this country, with a lot of eyes and expectations and hope and trust on the Modi government on what it can do, and questions rightly. So why did this incident happen in the first place? Digital maps, encrypted messages, high-tech equipment were available with the terrorists, including body cams, location maps. Full-on high-tech equipment provided to the Pakistan-sponsored terrorists that were used to massacre 26 men deliberately targeted, as confirmed by the government. Pakistan's ISI recruiting digitally trained terrorists. Remember, it's not just about suicide bombers, brainwashed, radicalized minds to go and kill innocent people in India and from one community. However, providing them with full-on high-tech equipment too, is it just Pakistan or are they getting support from somewhere else as well on this? Infiltration plot using encrypted app-based messages. Remember that these meadows, for example, where recce was done, where they could get away, where the security forces could reach in some time, the dense forest routes were where they were hiding. They used it, app-based maps, to realize where they could possibly flee. Imagine the training that went behind it. All this training, all this effort, why? To destroy innocent lives. And it wasn't as much, of course, the target were Hindus, but there's been a Kashmiri Muslim who has died in this. There are members of other communities who have died in this, because that's eventually the result of religious radicalized extremism. Terrorists asked to record videos of the attacks. That's why the body cam footage. To you who watched the world issues as well, other attacks that have happened, massacres, for example, 7/11, Hamas used the similar strategy of the body cam footage. It's a larger, so to say, the Islamist jihad tactic. Videos will be used for propaganda with the ISI support to mock and taunt Indians. That's been the strategy for Pakistan right now, drowning its own mayhem, but also wants to cause chaos and commotion in India. But the focus will now be as much, where are the terrorists who targeted these 26 individuals in Pahalgam? Back-to-back encounters, meanwhile, have taken place in J&K. Initial probe indicates that the number of terrorists were possibly between 5 to 7, going from eyewitness accounts. But the investigators are consistently trying to ascertain further details on that. Security agencies have released this sketch. Look closely on your screen. The sketches above on your screen are of the men suspected to be involved in the terror attack based on eyewitness accounts, based on the investigations. There's an AI image that India Today has prepared to help you understand what possibly in real life could these faces look like. They were the ones targeting tourist spots. The police of Jammu and Kashmir has put a bounty of 20 lakh rupees, a reward for anyone who will be able to give out information on these sketch and on these faces and on any suspicious movement. Targeting a large crowd was part of the plot, where identity cards were checked of the victims. They were apps used exactly how the Hamas terrorists used, and then to have an area where the victims wouldn't be able to hide and flee. All of this was done as part of the recce. Meanwhile, there are operations taking place in J&K. In Baramulla, 2 terrorists eliminated in an encounter, that's in North Kashmir. Chinese pistols and other ammunitions reportedly were recovered, including currency. In Kulgam, as also, there was another encounter that took place. A top TRF commander was trapped. So there are operations that are taking place, and a reminder that the guard cannot be pulled down. And this time, when possibly that happened, we saw what happened in Pahalgam.
पिछले कुछ समय से हमारे सुरक्षा बलों को उड़ी सेक्टर के पार पाकिस्तानी आतंकवादियों की हरकत की खबर लगातार हमारी इंटेलिजेंस एजेंसीज के द्वारा मिल रही थी। इनका मकसद उड़ी सेक्टर में किसी बड़ी वारदात को अंजाम देने का था, ताकि कश्मीर में शांति और विकास दोनों पर असर डाला जा सके। 22 और 23 अप्रैल की रात को तकरीबन 1 बजे आतंकवादियों की संदिग्ध हरकत को उड़ी नाले के नज़दीक दुश्मन के एक नज़दीकी लॉन्च पैड पे देखा गया। तकरीबन 3 बजे आतंकवादियों ने जैसे ही लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल को पार किया, हमारे एम्बुश ने इसे एंगेज किया। फायरिंग तकरीबन 2 घंटे के आसपास चली, जिसमें कि 2 आतंकवादियों को मार गिराया गया।
So look closely on your screens, specifically if you're from J&K, or you could be in any part of India. There are these sketches. The pen sketches on your screen have been released officially by the investigators, by the agencies and by the police, about, based on eyewitness accounts, based on survivor accounts, what the terrorists who targeted look like. This is at least 3. There could be many more. India Today also ensuring that we make this AI-generated image to help you understand what the real-life sketch could look like. I want to add here, Jammu Kashmir Police has announced a cash reward of 20 lakh rupees to anyone who may be able to report if there is any whereabout that has been discovered or found of these individuals. The identity of the informer shall be kept strictly secret. Let's hope that these terrorists will be found and will be gunned down by the armed forces, but also a reminder, what can we do to ensure Pakistan does not succeed again? Mir Farid, my colleague, joins me for the latest on that. Farid, tell us more. I'm sure that the operations are on. You were also reporting from Pahalgam in the past few hours. What is the strategy now? The focus will be, where are the terrorists hiding?
Yes, Pooja. In fact, as we have been saying since yesterday, the strategy of this terror attack, where sources say that there was a proper recce that they had done. So they had a complete conspiracy plan to go in, execute this attack and have escape plans as well. And considering I was there at Baisaran, the topography of the area, the jungles, the mountains, the crevices, it is a very tough area to really go in, even for trekking. So obviously after carrying out the attack, they have slipped into the forest area and followed the escape plan. That is why this operation will take time, though the security agencies, army, police, everyone is pooling resources and putting in whatever they have, including aerial surveillance, to track them down, because this is a clear and present danger. Because if they have targeted tourists, civilians, then obviously Amarnath Yatra is around the corner, so their next target could be that. So till the time they're out, they are a constant danger, and that is the other part of the problem. Now,
keep
overall,
tracking the latest, because investigations will be on, a lot of questions unanswered. We'll be tracking all that and more. Meanwhile, it's the family members who are in grief, in distress and understandable anger. That's Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath, who has reached the family. You're looking at Ashna, if I'm correct, is the name of the wife of Shubham Dwivedi, married in February. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister ensuring that he is with the family members. Just imagine the family was celebrating a wedding 2 months ago in February. And it is important that the leaders reach and hear the first-hand account. The wife was with Shubham. They were the first to be targeted. And that's why when she was asked, and we'll go across, I'm not sure if there is right now audio coming in from the location. She was the one who revealed how they were the first to be targeted. When the terrorists came and asked the husband, Shubham, are you a Hindu? Can you recite the Islamic verse? He didn't understand. He ignored it for a while. And then they asked again and realized that he's possibly a Hindu and shot him dead. From there, the massacre started. 31-year-old businessman enjoying with his family. What was the fault of this family? What will the government do to ensure justice is given to this family? Amid the tall claims and consistently believing that all was well, the terrorists looked for that one loophole. And it's important to mention, these are difficult terrains. You cannot have a boot on the ground every kilometer. But what will be now told to this young woman who was just starting her life full of dreams? The wedding pictures going viral. The pictures of holiday also were viral from a hotel room. She had to return with the coffin of her husband. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister with other leaders at the residence. This is Kanpur. And remember, a lot of hope and expectation from the Modi government, from Home Minister Amit Shah, who was in Srinagar directly interacting with the family members, now UP Chief Minister. Known for directly charging against criminals, gangsters in Uttar Pradesh, how will UP Chief Minister take this voice ahead to the top leadership of the centre, while he assures the father who lost his son, assures the wife that he will do whatever it takes? These are the visuals coming in. Understandable anger, understandable questions to the government. Samarth Srivastav is joining me on the phone line. Samarth, tell me more, as the top leader of the state is presently there. And it's important they listen to the helplessness, the tears, the anger, the distress of the family.
Well, exactly, Pooja. UP CM Yogi Adityanath is in Kanpur and he will be meeting the family in the next few minutes. But for the first time, he also spoke over the telephone to the family of Shubham Dwivedi. He even expressed deep condolences over the death of Shubham Dwivedi from Kanpur, who lost his life in a terrorist attack in the Pahalgam of Jammu Kashmir. Also on Twitter handle, he said that he termed the incident extremely sad and condemned the cowardly attack. On Twitter, he said that the death of Shubham Dwivedi of Kanpur district in the cowardly attack in Pahalgam is extremely sad. Today, I spoke to his father, Mr. Sanjay Dwivedi, over the phone and expressed my condolences. In this hour of grief, the UP government stands with the family with full commitment. The concerned officials of the state have been directed to send the mortal remains to Kanpur with full respect. That we saw in that last time when UP Deputy CM Brijesh Pathak was there receiving the dead body, the mortal remains at the Lucknow airport. Thereafter, the body moved to the Kanpur district where he was a native of. Though CM Yogi also said that he will pray to Lord Sri Ram to give a place to the departed soul at his feet and give strength to the Word family to bear this immense sorrow. He spoke to Shubham's father, Sanjay Dwivedi, over the phone, offering condolences and assuring the family of the full support by the UP government. He also directed the state officials to ensure that Shubham's mortal remains are transported to Kanpur with full respect that we saw in the visuals. And now the final cremation thing will be happening after CM Yogi Adityanath will meet the entire family, including the wife of the Shubham Dwivedi. Back to you.
How can one have a friendship or move ahead with Pakistan, which only aims to leave behind these young widows of India? 26 men identified, targeted. What will the government do to ensure that this incident that should have never happened will at least find justice? What will we say? What will words do to this young woman? But eventually it will be a strategy and action here on. And to remember that guard cannot be pulled down when it comes to the Kashmir Valley, because Pakistan is looking for the smallest of loopholes. I leave you with these visuals. The wedding pictures of the happy family and of this grieving widow now. 26 of them. 26 men, 26 families.